Bung Karno Stadium. It's Indonesia, and they're hosting Bahrain. They've seen Thailand get a creditable draw. They've seen Vietnam get an incredible win. Now the pressure is on Indonesia to deliver the goods. And there's a good crowd in here. I'm joined by Sassi Kumar. Sassi, I think you've even played at this stadium, haven't you?
Well, yeah, I remember back in '97, the SEA Games semi-finals. We had the fortunate to play against Indonesia, and we lost in that match. But I tell you what, just the atmosphere here is just electrifying, and it can be very, very intimidating.
I think the crowd, you were telling me beforehand, the crowd's very close to the pitch here. I think on that occasion there were 120,000. They've reduced the numbers now. It's a 100,000 capacity stadium. There's the referee, Yuichi Nishimura from Japan, and I have to say Japanese referees are usually excellent. You can see that it isn't a capacity crowd. It's very, very hot still, 33 degrees, but the humidity is quite acceptable, only 33%. And in some ways it's the humidity that really takes it out of people. And it's our first look at Milan Manchala, the Czech coach for Bahrain, and probably in that part of the world just about the most experienced coach that you could find.
Absolutely, he's been around in the Gulf region for a long, long time, and he knows the sort of football they play, and that's why a lot of clubs and countries tend to go with him, because he understands the culture and probably gets the best out of the players as well.
Well, interestingly, both of the coaches are East European, but both know their regions extremely well. Ivan Koliev, the Bulgarian-born coach, looks a very spry 49, I have to say, who has been in Indonesia a long time. He's fluent in Bahasa Indonesian, has coached both the national team previously. In fact, in the last Asia Cup, he was the coach on his way out because Peter Wid was going to replace him. But he's also coached in club football in Indonesia, so he knows the philosophy, he knows the ethos, he knows the players, he knows the place, and he knows the pressure he's under to get a result tonight. So we're underway, Indonesia against Bahrain. And a long ball knocked forward there to JC Okumwane, the Nigerian-born striker. And it's a very positive start from the men in white. Bahrain, certainly none of that slow, patient build-up that we were looking at in last night's game between Japan and Qatar. That's surely the first foul of the game.
You're right, Jamie. Just looking at the pace, it's been really fast and furious in the first 30, 40 seconds of this game. But both teams have to be very careful, especially Bahrain playing in this heat. Can take a lot of energy out of you, especially in the second half. So they've got to be a little bit cautious, because Indonesia will be much more acclimatized to this weather. And when it gets a bit tough, they will be the ones that be going.
Well, it's a free kick in a dangerous situation. Now, in terms of height, there is just nothing to compare on the Indonesian side with what Bahrain have to offer. They have several players who stand well over 6 feet tall. They do have an aerial advantage. Can they make it tell? A little bit of wrestling going in. There's Ala Hubail, the number 30 we could see. Number 26 there is JC Okumwane. He was only naturalised at the beginning of this year, so he qualifies for the team. Go for the direct shot, and no problems there for Yandri Pitoy.
Why not, I say. Just test the keeper nice and early. You can see that the smile on the face of the player there, number 7, Mohamed Wadai. Just trying to catch the keeper on the front post there. The keeper for Indonesia, Yandri Pitoy, had it covered all the way.
Never a bad idea to take a shot early on. I thought Abdullah Omar was very unlucky not to get the pen there. Indonesia coming forward, and it's nicely played wide. Early touch for Mayadi Panggabian. Nice little piece of skill coming forward, but Bahrain very strong in the challenge, and a bit too strong for the liking of Mr. Nishimura.
There is Budi Sudarsono just trying to skip past a couple of players. The Bahraini defenders have no choice but to bring in out. That's 3 white shirts again against Budi there. Free kick in a very, very good situation. And we've seen in the past, Astaman Panyaro, the skipper, he can hit them from this distance. They're just trying to work it out. between themselves there.
You would have thought they might have worked it out before the game started, but a little bit of discussion over who's going to take it, and really Ivan Kolyev will be thinking, okay, this is what we've spent hours and hours of time on the practice ground rehearsing this. The goalkeeper, a little bit of a surprise actually, it's Abdul Rahman in goal. Normally these days it's Ali Hassan who plays in goal for Bahrain, but the number 2 gets the jersey, gets the start. He's a big goalkeeper. Michi Nishimura very much involved, the referee, in the early stages. Punyaro's not going to have a go. It's Sudasono. Well, the crowd liked it, but really no problems for Abdul Rahman in goal.
Well, there's never going to trouble Abdul Rahman. After all that discussion and all that meeting, Jamie, that was a little bit disappointing. Straight at the keeper, that's not going to hurt him.
In fact, Abdul Rahman will be quite happy to get a nice touch on the ball there. Just get a feel on the ball and get things moving. So both sides have had a free kick in dangerous positions, neither side able to open the scoring, but a bright, breezy and entertaining start to the game. Since he came to prominence, Ala Hubail has had injury troubles. Now here's a chance. Is that offside? The flag has stayed down. The home crowd are ecstatic. Abdullah Mazu is mortified, and it's 1-0 to Indonesia.
Well, that's superb play by Indonesia, especially in midfield. They worked hard, got the ball back, and this man there, Budi Sudarsono, that's Bambang Pamungkas, it's Astaman Panyaro, the skipper, just threads the ball through, and Budi Sudarsono, who's been lively in the first 15-20 minutes, just locked the ball home forward. The 1-0 lead for Indonesia. What a great start to Indonesia.
And what a superb goal. The skipper getting that ball to perfection. Actually, the linesman got it right. He was level with the last man. And Budi Sudarsono, who scored a couple of crucial goals in club football this season. What a great goal for him to score. And what a result we have on our hands at the moment. Indonesia 1, Bahrain 0.
Well, it still continues. All the Southeast Asian sides doing really, really well against big sides, traditionally big sides. And we've seen that what Vietnam and Thailand has to do, or what they have done, and Indonesia's turn to perform as well. Later on, we've got Malaysia who take on China. So it's big night for all the Southeast Asian sides.
Well, that is superb from the skipper. Absolutely first class. Great quality ball. Good bit of composure. I would have to say that Abdul Rahman in goal didn't cover himself in glory. I think he took his eye off the ball slightly. And the high fives to Ivan Kolyev. Well, the crowd animated. They're pleased to see that Bahrain returned the ball that was deliberately knocked out of play. Good sportsmanship prevails. And it looks to me as if the Bahraini players have settled down a little bit after the shock of the goal. There were a few unpleasant incidents straight away afterwards, but they seem to have settled. Piñaro very much the brains of the Indonesian team.
Well, there were a lot of talk that Piñaro Astaman would play in the S League in Singapore. There were a couple of clubs that when they were quite keen to sign him on, but just his wages were a little bit too high for any club to make a bid.
Well, we've just seen Firman Utina back on the pitch and getting involved in the action. Seems to be none the worse for his little knock on the head. JC misses the header. Really, Bahrain haven't won the balls in the air that you'd expected them to win so far. And that's all credit to Indonesia, who challenged pretty hard for everything.
Well, that's a bit strange because just given the two strikers up front for Bahrain, Ala Hubail and JC Okunwane, both are big, strong centre forwards, and I'm sure the coach will be expecting them to get a few more knock-ons than the Indonesian defenders winning it. So that's the area where they are really lacking at the moment, because if they can do that, they can really stand their authority in this game.
A appeal for handball there, but the referee not interested. Now, that's a great challenge, and that was really unfortunate. Abdul Rahman having to go around the goalkeeper, around the referee there. And the ball played into the danger zone. And Ivan Koliev saying, yeah, I agree with him, that looked like a handball to me.
Yep, that's very clear. The referee fails to pick that one up, because this would have just allowed Fairmont to just get away from his marker.
Big figure there, the number 17 we just saw was Hussein Baba. Hussein Baba, solid defender, loads of experience. Heart of his Bahrain defence. Quite evident that the Indonesians have made good progress down both flanks in their first half. Mohamed Ridwan quite prepared to get forward and support.
Jamie, in my opinion, he is Ali boy. He's got a lot of pace and he's quite good on the ball as well. And when he gets into a good position, he can put in some telling crosses. So they really need to get him on the ball.
It's an air shot initially from JC, who is big and strapping, but a little bit short on his skill, one would have said. Decent ball in the near post. It's not defended, and what a terrible goal to give away. Just as Indonesia were going so very well, up pops Said Mahmood to get the equaliser from a nothing sort of ball in, poorly defended on the near post.
That's poor defending by Indonesia, Jamie. They've been looking at themselves here, and very disappointing. She started off with this, almost looked like a routine clear out there. In fact, they're losing out to the Bahraini player, but it then falls to a couple of players in the box. No one clears it. Up pops Mahmoud Wadai, just tapped the ball into an empty net, almost.
Well, they won't get an easier chance than that. And just what Milan Machala wanted. The equaliser coming in about the 26th minute. And huge disappointment for Indonesia, and huge encouragement for Bahrain.
I'm sure Ivan Kolev will have a thing or two to say at half-time to his charges, because that was a very, very soft goal to give away. They looked very comfortable, they looked in the driving seat, but they have given all that away. Now they have got to make sure that they don't go one goal down, because teams usually, when they concede a goal, the heads go down and they lose the composure a little bit. And just look at Bahrain. They're very confident after that goal. Indonesia need to regroup very quickly.
Side for Bahrain was Mohamed Ridwan, who lost out in the challenge, and that's where the danger came from. Mohamed Ridwan, very right-footed player, but plays at left back and has been successful there. Usually strong in the tackle, good at going forward, but caught out on that occasion. Good test for Indonesia, and that won't help the issue, just given away rather too easily. And this looks like a substitution. It's Eka Ramdhani. He's preparing to come on. Commanding midfielder, quick, brave, agile, the ball winner. And obviously they feel that they're losing out in the midfield, or it could be that injury to Firman Utina might be worse than we thought.
Well, you can see that Eka Ramdhani is not the biggest of the players, but I'm sure he's quick. He's got a lot of pace and passes the ball really well. It'll be interesting to see who he comes on and replaces.
Well, there's one of the mismatches. You can see JC towering over his marker. You have to feel that if the delivery is good from Rashid Al-Dosari, it must spell danger. Oh, that's well defended. Danger not cleared. That's deflected for another corner kick. Rashid Al-Dosari wearing the captain's armband. And a spell in Qatar after the last Asian Cup, when he was a regular in the first team. It's Chris Yulianto with his work cut out, the number 6 marking JC. Peters out for Bahrain. And the crowd just slightly getting on the back of the Indonesians as they give the ball away.
Well, Jamie, Indonesians are looking very vulnerable on the left flank there. They really need to do something about it.
Two bites at the cherry. It's a great header. Well, Abdul Rahman Mahmoud is arguing that he had his eye on the ball there, and I think the referee called that exactly right. It was a foul, but nothing malicious, so no yellow card. So important for Indonesia to retain possession of the ball now for a little while, but Bahrain do seem to be getting at the task rather better, and obviously hugely encouraged by scoring the equaliser, picking up a lot of the loose balls. Shooting opportunity, disappointing. A shot coming in from Rashid Al-Dosari.
That's a wild shot by Al-Dosari, the skipper. Just a little bit too eager to shoot from distance. Here we see the Indonesian substitute there, number 7. We saw that coming. Eka Ramdhani, Ivan Kolev just giving him some instructions there.
It's in fact Mayadi Panabian who goes off. Midfielder for a midfielder. Eka Ramdhani is not exactly going to help them in the aerial challenges, but he'll be quick around the pitch. Skillful little player. And a midfield that features several skillful little players already. And that wasn't great defending. Sudarsono. He's done some good work. He's really caught the eye, I think, Budi Sudarsono. There are several players that we looked out for beforehand, but he's certainly looked the brightest.
Well, I have to agree with you, Jamie. He's been the brightest for Indonesia.
Decent long-range effort there, and hit the ground just in front of the goalkeeper from Mohamed Ridwan. This time no problem for Abdul Rahman. Challenge from behind, no referee's going to allow that. And we've got another substitution. Shamsul Bakri is preparing to come on. Well, this is unusual, 2 substitutes in the first half.
Clearly Ivan Kolev seeing some weaknesses in his team, and he wants to rectify that before they concede another goal.
Well, Bambang Pamungkas adjudged to a foul there. I'm never quite sure when defenders are shipping the ball out like that.
As you can see, the mismatch in size there. Abdullah Matsuki is using his big frame to good use. But Bambang Pamungkas, let's not forget, he's had stints in Europe as well. Spent some time in Holland, so he will know a thing or two about being physical.
And he's not afraid of the physical challenge, but Marzuki, Abdullah Marzuki, absolutely enormous. Shamsul Bakri, if he comes on, is a holding midfielder. So there are further changes in this midfield for Indonesia. There's one of the substitutes already on. Ramdhani, Eka Ramdhani.
Well, I just get a feeling that Ivan Kolev is trying to pack the midfield. Hopefully he can get possession of the ball. Indonesia rather get possession of the ball and pass it around, because they know they're good enough up front to get the goals. But where they're seriously lacking out is that strength and depth in midfield. This is very, very bad news. The skipper, Penyaru Astaman, the man who pulls the string in midfield, it looks as though he's just hurt, just hobbling off. For Shamsul Bakri, this is not good news for Indonesia.
This is bad news, possibly the worst news that Indonesia could get, because very much Penyaru Astaman is the man to orchestrate things for Indonesia in the middle of the park. And again, the referee gives the free kick. Ala Hubail arguing that he just challenged for the ball. Certain amount of sympathy. He suggests there was a dive, but let's take a look at this one again.
Well, just some physical contact there. I think both players had the eye on the ball, so...
He only needs one chance, and he can convert.
He's very clinical in front of goal, Jamie. We've seen that on many, many instances. And and hopefully tonight he can actually pull one off for Indonesia. They really need him to be on song, and probably the added responsibility of being the skipper now in the absence of Astaman probably might just urge him on a little bit more.
The two goalkeepers we've had a look at, Yandri Pitoy and also Abdul Rahman. For Bahrain, the referee Yuichi Nishimura is ready to get the second half underway. The only Japanese referee officiating in this championship. And Indonesia with the ball, and it's out to Mohamed Ridwan. Doesn't seem to know quite what to do with it.
And that's where they've been really telling Jamie. The fullbacks have not been very impressive for me, in my opinion. Indonesia looked a bit accomplished in different most of the areas, but the fullback that's the area where they're really struggling.
Firman Utina, the diminutive number 15, has hurt Mohamed Hubail.
Nothing really there, Jamie. Hubail just making a meal out of that one.
Forward come Bahrain, and corner kick given away by Mohamed Ridwan, and pressure on the left back again. Almost everything has come down the flanks, and particularly down the right flank from Bahrain. They had 3 corner kicks in the first half. They've got their first one in the second half in just over a minute. So far, Indonesia have defended them very well. Abdul Rahman Mahmoud, and once again it is defended well. They're getting the first header on the ball, Indonesia, and then they are coming out in a line. Good discipline.
Very good discipline by the Indonesian defense there. Held the line really well and made sure the first defender got a hit to that one. And this is where they can be dangerous, hitting Bahrain on the counter, because they've got some pacey forwards in Bambang Pamungkas and Ali Aiboy, and even Firman Utina. These are the players who should get on the ball and run at the Bahraini defense.
So the Sana on the ball there, and Mohamed Ridwan taking over from him. And I have to say, Mohamed Ridwan not really having the best of halves at the moment.
Not at all. I think he's probably been the weakest link in the defense. The problem is, Jamie, when you play with the 4-4-2 formation, the fullbacks have to be very solid in terms of defending and going forward, and adding on as an extra man in midfield and also going forward. But the Indonesia have not been bright in that aspect. Maybe Ivan Kolev will be looking to change things around.
Certainly in midfield, they've looked reasonably accomplished in Indonesia. They've got definitely footballers in there, they can all play. And they don't seem to be getting mustard out of it at the moment from Bahrain. Ivan Kolev, animated again.
Don't forget, Jamie, the Indonesian league is a very physical league. The referees are quite lenient when it comes to tackles, so these boys are quite used to robust side of play in the league.
Good refereeing there, playing with advantage, and that's a cynical little bit of obstruction there. And it's Ali Arboy just knocking the ball through and being taken out as he chased after it. Saint Baba brought him down.
That's what we're talking about. Just look at Ali Aiboy here, just fakes it, some quick feet there. This is what he's good at. Very good on the ball. A little bit of trickery there, just trying to get past the Bahraini defenders. And let's hope that Indonesia can make good use of this set play.
But if they just chip it up in the air, you'd think Bahrain will defend it well. Perhaps drilled across towards the goal. Yes, it is, and it's well defended. But corner kick to Indonesia.
That's a clever ball by Ali Aiboy. Just trying to find a red shirt in the front post. But Bahrain defend really well.
Just hanging the ball up there. And I think one of the defenders was taking a ride there. I think it might have been Chris Yulianto. Sudasano certainly caught the eye in the first half, and interesting that was the first time I think just now that we've seen Eli Aiboy over on the left-hand side. I think it would probably serve Indonesia well if they did allow him to go both sides.
A little bit quiet in the first 45 minutes, Ali Boy. Didn't really find his rhythm, but when he did, he had a glorious opportunity to score a goal. Was better second half, he started brightly. Hopefully they can get him on the ball more often and running at the Bahraini defense.
Mazuki thumps the ball up the pitch.
Been quite impressed with him, to be honest, Jamie. Probably one of the best defenders I've seen in the competition so far. Very tall, commanding, leads his line well, and doesn't take any prisoners.
And he always commits himself, doesn't he? He's always prepared to go and attack the first ball. Provided you've got someone who can sweep behind, then that's very important. Bahrain making good progress forward there. Rashid Al-Dossari. And it's a free kick. Possibly just a little too far out for the direct strike. It's a substitute, Shamsul Bakri, giving the free kick away.
Well, it's still within striking distance. Sorry, Jamie, it's still within striking distance. As the number 27 there, Abdul Rahman Mahmoud, steps over the ball.
Well, it would favour a left footer from this side if it's going to be a direct strike on goal. And that's what it is.
Well, you can see what he was trying to do, just trying to curl it past the goalkeeper there, but hits it under and puts a lot of height on that one. Never really going to trouble the Indonesian custodian.
Poor free kick in the end. Technique not great, and you could see the reaction of Hussein Baba. I think he shared the opinion. Well, that looked like a tackle from behind, but in fact took the ball cleanly. The crowd disappointed, the referee got it right. Fauzi Aish coming forward. And that's a yellow card there for Ricardo Salampesi. That's 3 yellow cards now for Indonesian players. Beginning to look a worry.
Clearly beaten Ricardo Salampesi. He's got to be careful because the Bahraini players will be pushing on. There'll be a lot of situations that he'll be faced with one-on-one situation. He's got to stay on his feet rather, not dive in, because another clumsy or a wrong challenge could easily see him get a red card and Indonesia down.
Now, not offside this time. I think they sprung the offside trap. It's Ala Hubail. Again, let's have a look. Oh, clearly well onside there, no problem, but just couldn't quite get the good touch on the ball with his head. He shows a great willingness to work. He's a bit of a star, but certainly works his passage, this fella.
Well, I also think that there's not enough communication.
Little ball chipped through and just overhit, and that was a chance. Budi Sudarsono could have got a better touch on the ball there. It was a half chance. Great little run inside. Couldn't be found.
Needed the slightest of chance touches, Jamie, because Ali Boy was just advancing into the box.
But a nice open game of football. The ball bobbling around a little bit. All of the pitch is a little bit on the bumpy side. Good work in the end from Hussein Baba. But good pressure from Bambang Pamungkas as well.
Well, we know he will never give up. He'll chase every lost cause and make a nuisance out of himself.
The offside flag stayed down again, and this time Andrew Kutoy in goal does very, very well, acting as the supplementary sweeper. And down goes JC.
The ball just coming through to JC Okunwane, and the Indonesian goalkeeper Yandri Pitoy doing well enough to get off his line, act as a sweeper, and just a little bit of afters.
It was a little bit, wasn't it, as well? Doing what keepers have to, quickly off their line. Bahrain not really created the chances that one perhaps would have expected. See the stat at the bottom there, they've committed a lot more fouls than Indonesia, but not a game that's been littered with fouls, it has to be said. Fauzi Aish getting a bit further forward in this half.
Well, it's very evident that Indonesia, they are really missing their skipper, Abdul.
What a touch from Bambang there. What's a shooting chance? Well, we said he only needs a glimpse of goal. He almost had one there.
Good play by Bambang Pamungkas, showing a bit of his class there. Gets the ball, run at the defense, just fakes it. That's it. Probably falls to his not so favorite left foot. But let's not forget, he's quite capable with both feet. But just not finding the range here.
His first touch when the ball was played forward to him, it was a difficult ball, just plucked it out of mid-air. It was quite exquisite.
And the humidity as well, it just saps the energy out of you. Players lose a lot of water.
Long raking ball knocked forward and well defended. Embarrassing himself there, trying to flick the ball forward. Down the line. Seeing a lot of the action this half, Kelly Arboy. Decent range over, and it's hit the post. There's the rebound, and Indonesia 2-1 to the good. And it's the diminutive figure of Firman Utina who sends the home side and their supporters into ecstasy.
What a superb shot from distance by Firman Utina. The complete run of play there, hits it very, very sweetly, and then the ball hits the post and falls very kindly for the poster boy of Indonesian football, Bambang Pamungkas. He makes no mistakes from 5 yards out.
Just when Bahrain seemed to be in the ascendancy, and the keeper got a hand on that. It was a save, in fact, pushing it onto the post.
That's a great shot, Jamie. Completely catching the keeper out. Had no choice, but he gets a hand to it. But it falls to this man, Bambang Pamungkas, who reacts the quickest amongst the sea of white shirt there. Bambang Pamungkas, Ivan Kolak will be very, very pleased now.
Bambang Pamungkas doing exactly what forwards should do, always following everything in, reacting quicker than the defenders, and keeping his composure and tucking it into the net. 2-1 to the home side. Time. The ball knocked in, it's a looping header, but easy take for Yandri Pitoy. Arms are raised again. If this was American sport like basketball, they'd run down the clock, and there's no need to. That's it. Yuichi Nishimura blows the final whistle, and what a victory! Celebrations for Ivan Koliev, the Bulgarian coach.